Hi, this is Michael Buelna, and this is the work that I did for my executive leadership credential, Better Community, Better World project. This is the demonstration for it. And for this project, what we did was form a group to work on codependency. So the goals of this group were to find a place to meet, find at least two other people to join the group, meet bi-weekly and start sharing our stories with one another, read literature on how to have healthy relationships, and start working the 12 steps, because all of this was done in reference to a 12-step framework centered around the idea of building and maintaining healthy relationships with other people. The major milestones were in weeks 1 through 4, we were able to find a meeting place, and I was able to find at least two other people to join, which is more than that. Weeks 5 through 8 was set aside as a time to encourage all members to share their stories and their struggles with relationships so that we could all foster a community of trust with one another and vulnerability. Weeks 9 through 12 were dedicated to reading literature that was focused on building and maintaining healthy relationships. That way we could have an idea, a framework of how to do so. Before getting into the more difficult process of doing the 12 steps, which is what was done, well, we started in the time frame for weeks 13 through 18. We've continued to work on the steps and will continue to do so until we get through all 12. But that's outside of the scope of this project. The scope of this project was just to get to the starting point of the 12 steps. Currently, we're working on the second step out of the 12. Leadership skills that were important for this project have been patience, tolerance, because in a group setting, working on a 12-step framework, and especially for building relationships, requires a lot of patience and tolerance, because in a group setting, there's a lot of time that gets taken up by just getting through everybody's stories and everybody's thoughts and feelings surrounding their stories and where they're at in the process. And it takes a lot of tolerance because sometimes people have different ideas of how things are or should be, and building a community of trust and tolerance is important to be able to navigate that. It has taken a lot of discipline because getting through the process is rather arduous. I mean, just getting through the work of the preliminaries was arduous, but now getting into the actual work, there's a lot more vulnerability involved. It's required open and honest communication. It's required some hope and faith that things will work out, and some optimism, and some tactful communication. Because while there are many ways to say the same thing, and some ways alienate people, some ways anger people, and some ways of communicating that exact same message are much more tolerable, tolerant, and more easily received by the recipients or recipient, depending on the case. Um, Active listening has definitely been a rather important aspect of this endeavor, and time management, um, which is something I'm getting better at, and we are getting better at as a group. And assigning roles has played a big part in this, because the more clearly we've defined our roles in every given meeting and in general, as a group. The clearer we are on that, the more smoothly things have gone over time. And this next slide shows some of these CoDA group chat texts, which have been interesting. We often joke and share information, resources, and links with one another in order to laugh and help each other on our respective journeys and on our journey as a group. Codependence. Right? SWOT analysis for this project. Strengths, I was able to be tactful and honest with my communication with the group and its members. Weaknesses, I was not able to stay as focused on days when I had not slept enough the night before. Opportunities, reading books and engaging with other resources on productivity and time management have been helpful opportunities that I have and will continue to engage with. Threats, conflicts with other people's schedules, again, because the more people involved, the more other people's respective schedules are important. There's a lot of negotiation that's been going on with those threats specifically that have been difficult at times, but altogether manageable. Future recommendations for others who go through this: be patient and tolerant with people, be honest with them, but also be tactful. Thank you.